go, New York! John Cash. Yo, listening to John Cash.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to me. It's Monday, February the 10th, 2025. Once again, happy birthday to me. And happy birthday to my birthday twins and all my fellow Aquariuses out there. Welcome to an all-new edition of the John Cash Show podcast. The views and opinions expressed by my Aquarius-ass self, John Cash, do not reflect those of the John Cash Show podcast, sponsors, and or affiliates. Listeners and viewers' discretion is highly, highly advised. Tried to stifle that little hiccup. You can hear the John Cash Show podcast on demand on your favorite streaming platforms, including but not limited to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Deezer, Odyssey, Pandora, and many, many more platforms except for Tidal. And of course, we welcome back to the show the man, the myth, the legend, and the star of Channel 62 and Channel 65. And no, I ain't talking about court TV. It's Wesley Pipes. How's your week?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I would prefer what you did the last episode, the clap. Yeah, clap. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be doing that when I'm releasing this episode. Anyway, how is your week?
Good.
Hey, I'm putting that out in the atmosphere. I'm trying to, what's so funny? What's so funny? I'm trying to put that out in the atmosphere.
Put it into fruition.
Yes, manifest it. Manifest destiny. So did you say how your week was?
Yeah, it was good.
Just good. What happened? Tell me more.
My
Nothing.
week is the same every week.
Jesus.
I work, I edit, then I go to sleep.
You work, you edit, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sounds like we need to hang out for the hangover. To recreate the hangover.
Are you gonna get a bunch of Polaroids?
And tigers.
Bears.
We have to have a random friend named Doug. It gets us ecstasy. I don't take ecstasy. Let me correct that because I don't want people to say, "Oh, he takes ecstasy." No, I don't take that. I was off it. You know what? Story time. So, I used to manage a few artists, right? So, we had audition for this, or she had audition for this showcase, and she got into it, and we went to BBQs to celebrate. She pulls out Molly. She's like, "Do you want some?" I said, "No." What the fuck? I was like, I don't want nothing that's gonna have me horny for 16, 17 hours. No. Because I'm already
6 to 8.
Because I'm already on 10, So it's like I would hate to be on, yeah. So yeah, I've never taken Molly, but I've been offered it. I've been offered ecstasy too. Yeah, I've been offered ecstasy. When you first do ecstasy, you got to do half a pill, they say, because it dries you out. So you got to constantly drink water. Yeah, I never did it. That's what people say. That's what the streets say.
Good to know.
I mean, it's not good to know, but I wouldn't try it. I don't like putting shit. I don't like when I can't feel in control. because it's like, all right, I'm losing control. You're woo over here. Wish we had like multi-cam next time. Multi-cam. See you woo. That woo was just that was woo. That was a woo.
It was a woo.
Yeah. So
John Woo.
my week, I'm looking forward to catching up with friends and family and getting pampered and treated because it's Aquarius season. Yeah. So you can follow me to see the shenanigans, the birthday shenanigans on IG at the John Cash Show, TikTok, the John Cash Show podcast, Facebook, John Cash, Twitter, X @ John Cash, and YouTube, the John Cash Show podcast. So make sure, you want to wish me a happy birthday? You want to give me a gift? Leave reviews on Apple Podcast page, the Apple Podcast page for the podcast, and subscribe to the John Cash Show podcast channel on YouTube. Now, for everybody listening, feel free to chat about any of the topics, ask for any advice, give me any advice at the John Cash Show at gmail.com. Let's get into the show. This week's topic is, what was your first job? You're chuckling over there. The reason why I asked this question was because I came across an article about how being late to work now is no longer considered rude, but there's 5 other behaviors leaving your coworkers enraged, so to speak. So let me read the article. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you read a lot." Yes, I like to flex that I know how to read. And I don't need to put my finger under the words. I love to flex that I could read. I was that motherfucker in class, okay? All right. With return to office mandates becoming more common across the country, employees are hurrying back to work, but they needn't worry about being on time. Punctuality is no longer the big deal it once was, according to a new report in Fortune magazine, with experts saying hybrid work models popularized, sounded out, during the COVID pandemic have relaxed rules around tardiness. The concept of a rigid 9-to-5 workday has become less relevant for many. Workplace well-being expert Jen Fisher told the publication, say that 5 times fast. And employees around America agree. A meager 14% of employees cite tardiness as an irritating office behavior, according to a survey of 1,000 workers conducted by the job recruitment company Monster. They probably were supervisors or people that was always stuck with the on the short end of the stick that had to be relieved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would piss me off too. I actually walked off a job for that. I just walked. That's not my problem. They didn't have coverage. That's not my problem. I did my shift. I'm not staying an extra minute. And I walked off.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Many white-collar workers are now glued to their smartphones around the clock, meaning they can communicate with colleagues via email or tools such as Teams and Slack, even while they're commuting into the office for one of their mandated in-person days. Author Jennifer Moss told Fortune that the surprising survey results are an opportunity to rethink what punctuality means. The survey examined irritating work behaviors and found that while workers weren't fazed by their colleagues arriving at the office on time, they were peeved when they were late for mandated meetings. Once again, why the fuck do I care if you're late to a meeting? But I digressed. A sizable 77% of survey participants listed that behavior as frustrating office etiquette. It would only be frustrating to me if, like, the supervisor or whoever was running the meeting said, "Oh, we can't start until so-and-so gets here." That would piss me off. If there is a meeting, whether the employee is remote or on site, their tardiness is more easily detectable when there's a hard start and everyone is already present but you. Meanwhile, 77% of the respondents also said a colleague's unresponsiveness to messages also left them annoyed. However, the most irritating office behavior is failure to clean up after oneself. A whopping 88% of respondents ranked that the number one most enraging behavior, while gossiping, 81%, and the use of inappropriate language, 78%, ranked second and third. Meanwhile, changing rules around punctuality may not come down to a hybrid work model, but also the new makeup of the workforce. Gen Z struggle with time blindness or chronic lateness, with a sizable 20% of Gen Zers admitting to being late to work often, according to a past survey. And while it may seem like no big deal, Salimi says that extreme and frequent tardiness is still largely unacceptable, as it signals that you do not care. And trust me when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it will increase. You know why? It's tax season time, so people give less of a fuck around then. Just to be, forewarned is to be forearmed. Moss adds that it's important to keep colleagues in mind. If there are fair reasons for being late and it's not impacting others, we can relax the expectations. But it's when we're burdening someone else that causes the most concern, she said. So, with that being said, Wesley Pipes, what was your first job?
Security.
Security. When did you leave? Did you walk off? How did you leave? Did you walk off? Did you actually resign? Did you?
I technically got suspended.
Whoa, hold up now. Hold up now.
Yeah.
You got suspended. What did
Yeah.
you do to get suspended?
I just didn't
You robbed somebody?
I just didn't renew
You pulled out the strap.
I didn't renew my security license in time. So they technically suspended me, but then they were trying to get me back on the job while I was doing it, and then I just stopped answering the phone calls.
I thought you was going to tell me like you had to beat somebody's ass.
No, there was another time where there was no relief, and I just left.
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to pin that on me, and I said it's not my problem. And I just left.
That's y'all problem. If y'all don't know how to schedule, that's y'all problem.
They knew the whole day that the guy called in sick. They didn't do anything about it.
Oh, you think I'm going to stay extra?
I even stayed behind to hang out with the security guard just to talk. And I was waiting to see as they called in, and I said, "Yeah, don't tell them I'm here."
That's where you messed up. You should have just walked off.
Oh no, I didn't care.
Okay. My first job, my first real job, because I did vacation Bible school for my aunt when I was like 16, 17. My first real job, 17, 18. First real job was Zales in downtown Brooklyn. And the supervisor's name was Eddie Kenton. He was a little arrogant.
Dropping names.
Yeah, he was an arrogant, alien head-shaped bitch. And you know what type of time it is on the John Cash show. You and Josh are engineers behind this madness. So you already know I drop names, because ain't nobody gonna come see me. But I drop names. Shout out to my shirt. That's my little baby picture. That's your ADHD moment. So yeah, he was a little bitch. Eddie Kenton. So my first day of work was a transit strike. Back in 2000 and what was it? 2004, 2005. It was a transit strike. The very first day, I got a raise. Very first day, based off of my answers on the training, from like $7.50 an hour to $8 an hour. That shows you, I've come a very long way. And I would just mind my business, do my job. I was very low key. You had other workers that were there yelling every lunch break on the phone with T-Mobile because they cut their phone off for 25 cents. Um, I won't release her name because she was actually fairly nice to me. But Eddie Kenton, he's a bitch. His kids, if he has any, they're probably bitches. His mama's a bitch, his daddy's a bitch, his whole legacy and lineage is bitch made. I should look this bitch up on LinkedIn. So I wind up leaving because actually it's so funny, it was around my birthday and I switched with someone for them to cover my shift, and how the schedule worked, I wasn't coming in for the rest of the week. And the schedule came out on like Thursdays or Fridays. No, Thursdays. And it was like Monday or Tuesday. So I asked him, like, can I get this schedule so I know like to come in on Sunday? And this was during closing. You will get the schedule when I give it to you. I looked at him. I said, I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to. Like, everybody stopped counting the jewelry they looking. I said, I'll bust your fucking ass across this motherfucking store, you bitch ass. I'll bust your fucking head in all these fucking display cases. I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to. And, yeah, I was a hothead back then. I've grown. Thank God for growth. Hallelujah. Yes. As you can see, the red background. The devil. Um, but yeah. I wound up leaving, and I'm one of those employees that always have the employee handbook. I don't throw away shit while I'm working for whatever I'm working at. And I always keep digital copies or, physical copies. I'll email myself, BCC myself on emails and shit. I'm that one. I think 17 steps ahead of people. Before you can even say shit, I done already thought of how the shit could go. Like work wise. And he played around with my last check. He had me do the ripping and the running, going back and forth, and he see me, he want to run into the back like the bitch that he was. And uh, he gave me my last actual check, but I was entitled to a commission check, and he sent it. It was post dated 2 days after it expired. Now the check was good for 90 days. So it was post dated 2 days after it expires. Well, me being the kind hearted bitch that I could be, I took a picture and I reached out to corporate and I sent them over, the information that they needed. Come to find out he did stuff that caused him to be fired. Fuck around and find out. I keep telling people I'm your karma. When coworkers start fucking with me, you must not want to work here anymore. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you with that.
Find a way.
We're gonna find a way. What you're not gonna do, you ain't gonna bark up my tree. And shout out to those of you who have worked with me. You know what type of timing I can be on. Like, yeah. Everybody hears me talk about Macy's, but they don't never hear me talk about Zales. It was Zales before it was Macy's.
The origin story.
The Zales before Macy's. Zales, I was there for like what, 6 weeks? 6 weeks. Yeah, about 6, 7, 8 weeks. It wasn't that, but yeah. And then it was another associate. He had real funky ass breath, and he got beef with me. I was like, you need to have beef with a toothbrush.
That was his problem.
Marcus Cunningham, by the way, that's his name. Yeah. And there was another bitch ass nigga that used to work with Taiwan Mata. When I see this motherfucker, it's on site. I'm just letting you know that. When I see this motherfucker, it's on site. He tried to write me up the day of my grandmother's funeral. It's on site back in 2019. I guarantee you. I don't give a fuck if the 82nd Airborne is there. I'm going to whoop his ass. I don't care. I said this on camera. I'm going to whoop his ass. like, and that's on everything. That's on God, as the kids say. On my soul, as my kids say. On my soul, I'm going to whoop that ass. Every now and again, I Google him just to. Anyway. Let's go to the. That's not my first job, but that's the second to last job. Yeah, second to last job. Bitch ass. You never see. You know what? You never see people that you got beef with. Well, I've never seen people that I have beef with after I finished working with them. Like the coworkers that I was gonna beat the shit out of them, I've never seen them after. Never. Not run into them like by happenstance or anything like that. Never. Because I know God is like, no, my child. I know you. I know you're going to do something. Like, yeah. I saw one, but it wasn't like I'm gonna whoop your ass kind of beef. It was like I just don't fuck with you. I saw Claudine Edwards. She was HR at Macy's, and she thought she was the smartest person in the room. She was a fake ass Oprah Winfrey wannabe, but she looked more like a bootleg Wendy Williams. And she told Troy one time that I was weird, and Troy defended me. He was like, John is not weird. John is just smarter than what y'all are used to, or who you're used to dealing with. And she saw me. I was talking to one of my former coworkers that I had a good rapport with, and we were standing in front of. We were in Kings Plaza. We were standing in the standing in front of the Sbarro, I think next to the Perfume Mania, and we were talking. And she happened to come, and she's like, "John, and is that you?" And I said, "Yeah," and I still don't fuck with you, so keep on going where you going. Anyway, happy birthday to me. Yeah, it'll be a real nice birthday. I need to find a new tax guy. My tax guy, he disappeared off the face of the earth. I called the firm that he worked with. No, seriously. You know, I called to set up the appointment to do like the taxes because I have an accountant. I can't just do like TurboTax. It's like, and they told me that, he's not, around. And I was like, oh my God, is he okay? And they didn't know. They haven't heard from him. So that's not like him. So yeah, so prayers up to him. I hope everything is okay. But yeah, if you know somebody that's, very good with taxes, I need a tax person. Like, yeah, so that's that's a recent heartbreak. Don't fucking laugh. My guy was amazing. Shit. All I had to do is drop my stuff off. I didn't even stay. Just drop my stuff off. That's how much I trusted him. I just dropped my stuff off. I didn't even sit around. I was like, here's all the stuff you need. And I walk off.
And he just disappeared.
Just disappeared. But I've worked with him for about 12 years. And I emailed him. He didn't email me back. That's not like him. Yeah, so, anyway, enough with the ADHD moments. What was your first job? Sammy from Baltimore said his first job was at Home Depot. Lisa from Dallas says her first job was at Applebee's. Oh, okay. Eating good in the neighborhood. Joseph from Richmond, Virginia says his first job was working security, top flight security. Started laughing. That's an insider joke. Mike from Atlanta says his first job was working these niggas. All right, you got to use what you got to get what you want. I hear that. Kim from the Bronx says her first job was at Foot Locker. Michelle from Chicago says her first job was at McDonald's. And let me see. Marcus from Las Vegas said the Trap. Yep. So, yeah, they say this is a big, rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Yeah. Bright light, city life. I got to make it. This is where it goes down. All right. Enough of the power intro. Final thoughts, Walter, besides not walking off? Don't walk off the show.
When there's no one there to relieve you, you just got to relieve yourself.
That could go so many ways. Yeah. That's normally my motto.
It's
But
the moral to life.
if there's nobody there to relieve you, you relieve yourself.
You just got to take care of it yourself. When in doubt, leave.
As I always like to say, stay away from negative people because more than likely they have negative bank accounts. And let's thrive in 2025. Once again, shout out to Aquarius season. And we out this motherfucker. Hopefully I'll be doing that later.
Let's go, New York! John Cash. Yo, listen to John Cash.